say the best things come from the worst shit. This all facts, this ain't no verse shit.
The Truth Podcast is on. I want to turn my attention to Young Thug. Now, the last time we did a video on this cat, I think it was him and Lil Uzi Vert, and they put on, you know, I think it was like some dress type shit, purses, all types of crazy shit. That was a good, you know, conversation. Well, Young Thug, we obviously know that he's trolling. You know, put on, I'm gonna put the video right there on the screen, the Gucci blackface. Actually went out and purchased this. I'm gonna play a little bit of video that we're gonna talk about this. With the Gucci blackface hand, man, you see him right there. What are your initial thoughts on this, man? I'm interested to see what you gotta, you know, say about, you know, this, because we had a couple good conversations about this.
Yeah, man. You know, Young Thug, man, it's crazy because we were really trying to be on your side. The last couple of conversations, we had the little Uzi Vert, and that was early on in the podcast. Seemed so long ago. Now it was a year ago. It's crazy. It seemed like yesterday. But when you dealt with your stuff with the law, we were on your side. When you dealt with your stuff with the substance abuse, we wanted to see you out of it. We gave you credit and gave you salute when it came to your music and the evolution of your music. So when you do stupid shit like this, you got to expect a slap on the head too. And you got to expect to get worked a little bit because you deserve it. You see the public backlash that created and how much that really offended people. And you put the motherfucker on and just completely like, man, you took 14 steps back right here.
Right.
And even though you're joking and you don't care, and we obviously see you with purses and blouses and shit, and you don't care, you do this. What's your grandmama think about this?
And this is what I be talking about, man. It's just like in America, all over, man. Like, we the only people who do stuff like this, man. I hate to say it again. Like you put it on, and I'm laughing because I don't want to be crying. You know what I'm saying? But you put it on or whatever to kind of to get the reaction that we're giving them. You know what I mean? To piss people off. But again, what you said, what would your grandma, what would your great grandma, you know, think about, you know, this people? I mean, we were just talking about the slave patrol and the police, and you know, a lot of stuff that's going on, and you know, to do this, man, you're silly for that. You know what you are. Somebody put, I think Kodak Black, they said he was a walker. I'm not saying this. Somebody said in the comment, he was like the walking personification of a coon. You know what I mean? And the, you know, and you had this, man, you had, you know, at the time of struggle, you had, you know, whenever be, you know, let's just go back to slavery. When you had people trying to get free, you had people who will rather, you know, go against that and say, look, I just want to stay on the plantation. Not that this is exactly like that, but at least it was a mission, you know, to at least do something, whether it broke apart in a few days. There was somebody spoke up and said something, and you just totally like just shitted on it by throwing that on, you know, taking a shot pretty much at T.I. You know what I mean? He was one of the guys that was very vocal about it. And you're right there in the same city. You know what I mean? So that's sad, man.
It's sad because he's ignorant and mentally shackled, man. And it's fucked up because you had the people beginning to get on your side. You're a young dude. You made mistakes. You got a story to tell. When you look at, in comparison to people in your class, like a 21 Savage, prime example, who was a fucking knucklehead coming into it, but slowly evolved, started doing different things, dealt with his time with the law, but said, nah, fuck all that nonsense. I'm going to do the right things and start taking care of my business. And you see even a Rich Homie Quan, prime example, somebody that you used to ride with. He kind of said, you know what? Nah, that road I'm going down, that road we going down, I got to chill. Let me kind of change my whole shit up and move in a different direction. Now we see the success that he's finding himself in, whether that be in his own lane or not, he's successful. And when you look at a Young Thug who has just as equal talent as both of them men and just keeps doing stupid shit after stupid shit, and this ignorance that he showed, yes, is going to give him negative attention, but hopefully it hits a nerve and makes him want to change. Because
do you think that he's saying, this is pretty much saying fuck T.I. at this point? You know what I mean? Indirectly. Would you say that, or would that be stretching it?
He's saying fuck myself.
Yeah, T.I. Everybody. It ain't about T.I.
He's saying fuck myself because he's not just aggravating T.I. in Atlanta. That's not a direct shot. He's aggravating a lot of people. And like I said, and no disrespect to anybody's grandmother, no disrespect to his. God rest her soul if she happened to pass away. But when you think about the culture, and when you think about just being black and having a grandmother and listening to them stories and just hearing it and just feeling the power behind that, you know, certain things your grandmother would accept and love, and certain things would just hurt and offend.
But it's like, Sam, man, like, taking this a little bit it's like, you got a whole history. Like when you talk about those stories of your grandma and great, They went through a lot of messed up things to endure to get where we're at now, to have certain freedoms. They had to endure, not being able to go here, being whipped, police brutality times 10. They had to endure all of these things for you to make mockery out of your own people. Now we ain't asking you to be Malcolm X, but don't say shit. Don't go against it. It's okay. Okay, you don't want to say no. I'm not a bold guy. I want to make my music and do my thing. But when you go against it, you make yourself an ass. You know what I mean? And we have to, attack you in love. And nobody wants no harm to come to you. But at some point, when you talk about revolutions, sometimes, and not to say that we're in a revolution and nothing like that, but when you're talking about people trying to change, let's put it like that. Sometimes the harsh people have to be dealt with very harshly for going against the progress, is all I want to say.
Us as a culture, as Black people, we all know that we have a lot of work to do to just get back on track and to get to where we want to get. But one thing that we really have to understand is it doesn't matter what you think, what he thinks, what she thinks. It doesn't matter who he dates, what she dates, with this. It doesn't matter if you agree to disagree. It doesn't matter if we necessarily get along. We all have to understand that we all have to get better as a culture. And certain things, like you said, the Steve Harveys of the world, that rings a bell when we just talked about the last conversation, the Oprah Winfreys, the Floyd Mayweathers, the Young Thugs. These type of things wouldn't happen in different cultures, whether you agree or not. It wouldn't happen, because we know as a culture, as a solidified group, we have to be able to move forward. And it just goes beyond being able to go, yeah, he's cool with me. Yeah, fuck who he's dating. Yeah, I don't agree with his political status. Because when we go try to get a loan at a bank, we need to look at one of ours to have proper understanding of what we're going through, so we can go, here you go, like the Jewish does, like the Asians do, like these other cultures do.
Sam, man, imagine this real quick, man. Let's just say, how they talk about the Redskins and how, people come to the games with all the Indian regalia, and how the Native Americans were against that. They wanted them to use a name. Imagine, something came out, Gucci put out something against Native Americans, and a couple weeks later you saw a Native American dude just pop up with the whatever they were going against. Just looking like a complete asshole. Just sitting there like it wouldn't happen. So
much pride
it's
in the
sad.
culture,
That's
man.
what I'm saying. It's sad, man.
Yeah, and we do it out of love, man. Young Thug, we do it out of love, man.
Yeah.
But damn, shame on you for that one, bro. And people, and you know what, my bad. And a lot of people gonna be in the comment section, y'all taking this shit too deep, you doing this, you doing that. Cool. But what would your grandmama say?
And it's like, and the thing is, we talk about what we want to talk about on this platform. A lot of people say, oh, we do what we want. We pay the bills over here. If you want to talk about something, you talk about it.
Appreciate that, man.
Yeah.
God damn. I was gonna say, who paid it? I think we do that.
Nice shirt over there too, man. Michael Jackson.
Yeah, well,
repping.
Why the fuck wasn't I not?
No doubt.
One of the goats, man.
No doubt.
Innocent man. I'm gonna rep my
shame.
dog.
I was the same, and I was sitting in the restaurant, man, and eating, and the Michael Jackson song came on. It was just it made the whole experience better. So to think that they're talking about taking his music off the radio was insane.
It's insane, and we're not being naive or ignorant to anything. His music does not go beyond his man. So if he did do anything, let's put that back on here, because we said it every podcast we talk about Michael Jackson. We're gonna say it on this one. If he did do anything to hurt, harm, sexually, just violate any child, fuck Michael Jackson. But he didn't.
Right.
So we ride with Michael Jackson. Goddamn it, let's roll.
Yes, sir. But you tuned in to the Uncensored Truth podcast, man. Winding down here on this Thursday. If you're listening on YouTube, as always, go ahead and hit that like button, please. Make sure that you share this video. Also, a special shout out to the people listening on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, and wherever else you're listening to the podcast. We want to say we do appreciate that. Do you have anything else over there, say, man?
Nah, man. Just real quick before we get out of here, I know we were talking in a pre-production real quick about family and business how we're solidifying business, and we happen to be family, but it's really a blessed situation what we got going on, because we're just so even in what we got going on. So it's a great thing. But employing people and just really helping people, it's a great thing. But it comes with its fucking baggage. God damn, it comes with its baggage, man. Just talk about the hurdles in dealing with this family and employing them. Man,
I first of all, I would advise against it, just because it's one of those things where if it's like, if it could go wrong, it probably will, and it probably will at some point. Hopefully, and I've been blessed. I've been an exception to get, you know, some wonderful people that are family that have been able to work, you know, very well. But it's not all family members. And sometimes I just don't know. Maybe it's they got, you know, a hard time you know, not that they don't have a problem with you being the boss, but maybe they feel like if they don't do it, that because your family, you're still going to take care of them. Like if they don't do the job they're supposed to do, you're still going to pay them. I think that they genuinely, you know, we tried to get to the deep down root of this psychology the other day, sitting in the car, and we just couldn't really, you know, figure out, you know, why they don't do what they're told when they're getting the money, when it's family members. But if they're at that job, they're breaking their neck, you know, to do it. And all I can say is, you know, you're going to have those experiences, but you got to be stern with them when the job's not done. You can't pay them, because it's like anywhere else you go, it's not going to be acceptable. So why would it be acceptable here? You want me to lessen my standards just because you're family? Hell no.
And the thing